Yeah, we forgot to film up this morning.
No, I mean, I did put in a coffee request.
You did, but we had some challenges finding coffee this morning. But I don't know if we need it. We're both pretty amped up.
Yeah, that's true. Because it is day 4.
Day 4 of Mecum Harrisburg.
And episode 13.
And episode 13, absolutely. Welcome to Mecum in the Morning, here for the final day of Mecum Harrisburg. Excitement is through the roof. I know you and I were commenting every single morning, but it is so true about the passion from the spectators and the bidders who are out here so early in the morning.
I, again, decided to watch everyone run, jump, go through obstacles to get to their seats this morning. A few of us were talking about putting a finish line with a big Mecum sold that they have to break through in the morning, so we might do that. Maybe not at Monterey, but perhaps at Dallas.
But if you're anywhere near the Harrisburg area, come on out to the Pennsylvania Farm Show Complex. There's a lot in store today. Let's go through the rundown on the docket. There are 278 vehicles slated to cross the auction block. Contained in that is 6 collections and 53 pieces of road art, including Doug's go-karts. They're going to be available at the block.
When I was coming over to set up for the show this morning, there was quite a crowd already looking at the carts. You know, they got tons of attention. A lot of people came up to us over the last couple of days and said how much they loved the race Rick put against himself. Asked if that was going to come, more things like that were going to come in the future. I know our VP of Ops really liked that too. It added, you know, a different little element and experience for people walking around, checking out things. So who knows what we're going to come up with next? Maybe pedal car races or something.
Pedal car races, right. Yeah. You know, there really is always an interest, Brianna, always trying to kind of elevate the experience at Mecum Auction, trying to give our guests the best day possible with things to see and do. And I think maybe the go-kart track could be a regular thing.
It could, given if we have the space, right? It's always about the space. We always want to make sure that there's room enough for all the cars that we bring to these auctions. But I do think when people are, you know, leaving their seats and they want to walk around, it would be great if the viewers actually told us what they would like to see incorporated at a Mecum experience.
Well, let's talk about a special consignment crossing the block today. It's a very unique truck, and I caught up with someone connected as part of the promotion of it. Here, take a look. A special hauler here at Mecum's Harrisburg auction is lot number S212. It's a 1958 Chevrolet Apache pickup truck with quite a few connections to the Mecum auction experience. The truck was built as part of Hot Rod's Week to Wicked series in advance of the 2018 Hot Rod Power Tour, and it also served a purpose with curing kids' cancer. Michaela, you were actually involved with some of the promotion of the truck. Tell me about how did you kind of hear about the truck and what events were you part of?
Yes, Matt. Well, I actually heard about the truck because Stable approached Curing Kids Cancer and said they wanted to auction off their 60th anniversary truck with the proceeds benefiting childhood cancer research. And so that obviously was a very big moment for us, and with our partnership with Mecum as their charity of choice. I had the honor of going on the Hot Rod Power Tour with them, and of course this beautiful Apache, and it actually sold in 2020 at the Indy Spring Classic and raised more than $62,000 for us, on top of Stable also creating t-shirts with Curing Kids Cancer and the Apache truck. So it was amazing to see, and obviously going to such an amazing cause.
You bring up a great point, Michaela, that the inspiration for the project was to commemorate Stable's 60th anniversary. Man, what a long time for a brand to be around, to be a recognizable product within the automotive space, and it features quite a few upgrades. It's not your standard Apache. It's got that late model LS3 under the hood. I love the look of it slammed down low with those white wall tires. And I gotta say, one of the special touches is your mark is on this truck. Did I recognize the signature on the dash?
Yes, it was an honor and a privilege just to be included in being able to autograph the Apache. So it's cool to be a part of such a special moment in Curing Kids Cancer history and for Stable.
Well, it's a very special project. It's a great truck ready for the next year's Hot Rod Power Tour. Look for it crossing the block this Saturday.
I have a question for you. Do you want to hear it?
I do.
Did you ever have to pull your tools out of your pocket and fix anything?
Wow, we're really going back into the early week. I didn't. You're talking about the Mecum shirt?
Yeah, the Mecum shirt,
Right,
you know, the
yeah.
one that was
No.
just featured in that video.
Right. But I was ready. I was ready to
Just in case.
pull them out just in case. Just in case there was a metaphorical issue that arose that I could use my metaphorical tools to solve.
Yeah.
So that truck is crossing the block today. And I had some conversation with Bob from 303 talking about how it would be a great addition on the next Hot Rod Power Tour. But that is part of the Rusted Restoration Collection and selling at no reserve.
So maybe whoever the buyer is, we should extend an invite to join us on next year's Hot Rod Power Tour.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. But really love the look of that truck, and obviously a lot of different connections to the Mecum auction experience. And kind of continuing that theme, Breon, we have a spotlight on 303. They're one of our great partners and sponsors here at Mecum Auctions. You can find them on the red carpet midway as you come in.
Can't miss them.
Can't miss them, and they have a lot of great products. And here's Bob filling us in a little bit more.
Oh, Bob.
I am Bob Galiska, so I'm the Stable Brand Manager here at the Gold Eagle booth. We have our Stable products, and then we also have 303. A lot of people don't know they are the same company. Everything's family owned out of Illinois. We are here at Mecum Harrisburg. We have been coming to the Mecum auctions for many years. So every car that rolls across the auction block here at Mecum Auctions gets wiped down with our Slick Shine detail spray on the 303 brand. And then we also have our 303 detailers here on site. They have a detail station that you can pay for services to get your cars wiped down, polished, paint corrected, everything you could think of to make the car look absolutely perfect before it goes across that auction block. So on the Stable side, the fuel additive side, we have our storage product, which has been around since 1958. Then on the Stable side, we also have our 360 protection product, which a lot of people aren't necessarily familiar with, is more of an in-season treatment to clean and protect the fuel system. Then on the 303 side, so that brand's been around since 1980, started in the marine industry, and then we actually acquired the brand in 2012 and brought it into the automotive industry. And Mecum's played a huge part in letting us get that brand out there and in front of automotive enthusiasts such as yourselves. What we like to say is we have stuff that protects the inside of the car from the engine, and then also the outside of the car with the 303 stuff to polish it and make it look shiny and make it look its best. So if you want your car to run the best and look the best, we have the products to make it do that.
Just came up to share a success story. I've got a steel chainsaw, and I went to start it last week after 2.5 years. Of course, used the Stable product in it, and it fired right up. So I mentioned it to one of the gentlemen here at the booth. It's a great product, and I highly recommend it. And not only just to get the thing started, but for the conditioning of the product as well.
So I see that you have a nice toy car. Did you get that for me?
I did.
You did?
I did.
I love
did.
when you bring me gifts.
You know, the only thing better than Camaro Friday
Yeah.
is Camaro Saturday.
Or Gift Bree Gifts Saturday.
Sure, that one
Can
too.
you purchase this in the booth?
Yes, you can. This is I think it's a new die cast from Greenlight that you can find over in the Stable booth. And they do have a lot of great products, as you saw in the package there. And that gentleman talked from firsthand experience that not only do they have products, but they're really great products to use. And of course, Bob and his team are there ready to answer any questions that folks might have about how to use the products or things in the works with the brand.
And if you're looking for a bigger model car die-cast, you can head next door to our shop, Mecum Shop, where we have a variety in 2 different sizes.
We do, and we also have the Harrisburg exclusive shirt that you modeled earlier this week.
I have seen quite a few people out there rocking the Harrisburg tee. It's looking pretty good.
It always cracks me up, Breon, when I come to an event and you see people wearing merchandise that was available on site because you know that they bought it and then they changed into it, or obviously they could come back the next day.
I've seen people just put it over whatever shirt they're wearing. They get so excited even before they leave the shop. They're just already draped in it. It's awesome to see.
It is.
People are proud to wear Mecum.
They really are. Another great vendor that's over on the red carpet entryway is PJ with auto literature, and that might be something that's maybe not thought of, but that's another great aspect of collecting. Here's a spotlight on what PJ has to offer.
I'm Paul. I'm with PJ's Auto Literature, and I've been coming to Mecum Auctions for quite a few years. Goes back, like I say, into the 90s. I saw a Mecum Auction advertised, and I was looking for places where people gather that like cars, and I thought, why not try a Mecum Auction? And it was a good experience for me. I enjoyed it, sold a lot, and so here I am 30 years later, still doing it. I sell brochures and manuals for cars. Sales brochure is my favorite type of literature. That's what they gave out in the showroom. You could take it home and read about what the car's going to be like. But we also do owner's manuals and magazine ads and service manuals and other related literature items. I would estimate that what I brought here is like 40,000 different items. Two things. I think one thing is they just think it's neat to see an old piece of literature, the nostalgia of having something old that goes with their car, but it's also informative. They like to know what different options were available for their car, what they could have ordered if they would have ordered that car new. Sometimes it authenticates different options or accessories, whether it's something that came from the factory or whether it's something that somebody put on the car. People want to know that their cars are authentic, and sometimes it helps with that. We do have people that collect literature, that's their hobby, that they try to see how many different ones of these they can get.
Bought a 71 Nova newspaper pamphlet, a 70 Chevelle newspaper pamphlet, and a diagram on Monte Carlo Nova Chevelle for the 1970 350. And the reason I bought these things is because, well, we own these cars. So never seen anything like this. I thought it was pretty neat, and couldn't pass up the opportunity to be able to buy this. So yeah.
So I hadn't stopped by the booth, but now after watching that video, I'm inspired. There's, cars that I know I maybe can't afford right now, but I could probably buy some literature, put it in a frame, and use it as a source of inspiration. I do wonder, however, how does he find all of this?
So Paul filled us in that one of the ways that he sources all that material is digging through dealership, just literature that they throw out, that just because obviously if you're in a dealership setting, and now we're moving away, although from hard copy pamphlets and brochures, but up until the last couple of years, a lot of times it's so cyclical, that new car cycle. So you would get all the brochures for a particular model, and then as soon as the next one comes out, that literature is obsolete from a new car standpoint. But for someone like Paul and people that collect that, obviously that's great. And I've purchased from there, and he touched on a very good point that a lot of that literature does help to establish provenance, like we were talking about yesterday. It helps to provide authoritative guidelines for these vehicles and how they were equipped, pricing, all that kind of stats that matters. And like that gentleman touched on about purchasing the literature and the marketing material that goes with his vehicle in the garage is also a lot of fun for the hobby.
You just mentioned something. When I bought my Audi a couple years ago, I was looking for any paperwork to learn, when do I service it? Called the dealerships. They're like, oh, we don't print the materials anymore. You actually have to go online. And I miss that. I miss having that, document in the glove box, being able to open it and reference it. And thanks for making me sad again, Matt. I appreciate it.
Well, and I do think that with more and more automakers moving to a digital only presentation for their marketing material, I think it's going to cause a rise in an interest in that hard copy material as people do want it. You mentioned about purchasing something and framing it, and that is very common for a lot of these old ads just because they are so nostalgic. There's something about them that I do see a lot of them framed in collectors' homes and garages, just as a neat way to kind of celebrate all things of the past.
Coming from the OEM environment, both motorcycles and electric vehicles, when I was looking for inspiration, I would always go back and look at ads, from old car companies and motorcycle companies. The motorcycle company I worked for was classically inspired, vintage inspired. So I would go back to the 1940s and 50s and look at what the ads looked like then and try to find sources of inspiration to, bring the new or the old back. Yeah. So
if you come out to Mecum Auctions, be sure to stop by. That's just another great thing to engage in, and likely you'll find something you want to take it home.
Does he only come to Harrisburg, or is he at other events?
He's been attending auctions since the 90s, so he's been around for a long time.
Okay, so you can find him. So say is he coming to Dallas?
We'll have to ask. We'll have to ask.
So we'll let you guys know. But that's what I was wondering. Like if someone's not here, they see the show, we'll get a schedule of where he'll end up.
Yeah. And one final thought I will bring on about Paul, is that the presentation is phenomenal in terms of, you go to a lot of swap meets, you go to a lot of flea markets, and you have to dig through stuff. The way that he's got it presented in the sleeves, it's you can pull it out if you want, but it's easy to find. It's well organized, so definitely stop by and take a look.
I'll be stopping by.
You know what time it is, Breon?
Is it go time?
It's always go time. It's auction knowledge time.
Oh, I love it.
I know.
I'm so excited. I wasn't invited to join the fun.
No,
so
you weren't.
I'll have to tune in now.
No,
Yeah.
I just wanted to soak up all the knowledge with
And
Matt,
just hang out with Matt
with
without
Matt
me.
Morvac.
Yeah.
We had a chance to connect with Matt at Mecum Tulsa earlier this summer, and just as part of the ongoing effort to educate our viewers about what goes into the actual auction experience, I was able to catch up with Matt on the block for some inside knowledge. I'm up here on the Mecum Auctions block, and we've got Matt Morvac, known as Matt in the Hat, one of the great auctioneers that we have here, almost a 30-year veteran of the auction world. We're going to keep on going with some of our auction insider knowledge. Matt, let's head up to the block and school me on what's going on up there.
We're going to do that. We're going to walk up onto the auction block. We're going to see all the aspects and facets of what the auctioneer has to be in charge of, what he is taking control of, and everything, the ins and outs of being an auctioneer here at Mecum Auctions.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
Let's go. So first off, the auctioneer has started. Our first lot today has gone through. We have lighting and sound personnel back here that check with the auctioneer and make sure the sound is good, the sound quality is good, that the auctioneer can hear himself, that the crowd and the ring people and the bidder's assistants can hear the auctioneer. So that's first and foremost. Communication is key at any auction. So right now, Jimmy has started. Everything at a Mecum auction is lotted. Everything is prioritized by lot number, by day. So the first thing that we listen for is our reader. So we're starting F3 is the lot number. He is going to read the description. Also, there's a reserve price on most items here at Mecum Auction, so he has to know what the reserve price is. We have bidders assistants. We also have a seller's ambassador that's going to relay some additional information up to the auctioneer. So taking all that in mind, he determines a starting price, a starting asking price for the item. He usually starts at a higher asking price and then works his way down to like a fair market value. And then from there, normally the bidding resumes. So we're looking for a start, and momentum is always key in any auction. Momentum is key. If we can start somewhere back and get the more people that we can get involved in the bidding process, the better the outcome for the buyer and the seller.
When you come up to the block as an auctioneer, are you nervous every single time? Is there still some butterflies in your stomach, or is it like getting back on the saddle?
I haven't been nervous in a long time. There's one time that I was, is when we sold Bullet, because that was a 6-month plus buildup, and it had so much exposure and so much momentum going into that auction. And when they turned down that lights in that room and they brought that car in, they lit that green trail up to where Bullet came up on the block. I never knew the car was running. I thought they pushed it in. I could not hear that car was running itself. So I said, I thought they pushed you. He goes, no, I drove it up. I said, didn't you hear it? I go, no, I couldn't hear a thing. That's when I knew, okay, there's one point in my career, later on in my career, when a lot of my nervous had went away, like, okay, it came back that day. But I didn't know it till after the fact.
Okay, I wasn't around for the Bullet sale, but the energy in that room was insane from what I can see from the video. Can you give our viewers a little brief history of that?
Absolutely, and just funny, our producer Alyssa spotted me in the video on the block by Bullet. So yes, I was there, and there's photographic evidence. But Brianna, I gotta tell you that it was tangible, the amount of electricity in that room down at the Osceola Heritage Park Fairgrounds in Kissimmee. All eyes were on that car. The previous year, the presentations team within Mecum Auctions had done a great job of getting that car out and about. Everyone knew it was coming to auction, and I think everyone had come to see it.
But why are people so excited about that particular car?
Sure. So Bullet harkens to the 1960s movie, kind of not spy, crime, where Steve McQueen plays a detective, and he investigates some activity in San Francisco. Some nefarious activity in San Francisco. I will say some of those details don't really matter when you're talking cars, because what everyone remembers from that film is the chase scene between the baddies. I think there's two kind of henchmen, I'll say, and a black Charger, another legendary car. And Steve McQueen chases them in that green Mustang. That was one of several built for the film. But Steve McQueen did spend some time in that car. That was one of the picture cars, and so they chased through San Francisco, jumping over those notable streets. So big deal. It's a big deal. I mean, it's a iconic car film for enthusiasts, and so to own a piece of that was almost a once in a lifetime opportunity, and so that's why we saw bidding go above $3 million very quickly.
Maybe there's an opportunity for us to link up back with the owner, the new owner of the vehicle.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be a great follow-up if people would be interested in that. You know where the energy isn't today, Matt?
Where isn't the energy?
Directly behind us. As you could have seen over the last 4 or 3 days, this room was filled with vehicles, but since we're on our last day, all the vehicles are being moved out to the staging area. It's kind of eerie. So maybe we can do some ice skating or some parkouring.
Parkouring.
Is that?
Yeah, we did have a conversation about parkouring yesterday.
We did.
Just because one of our colleagues engages in Kayla engages in parkour. But yes, we do have an empty arena behind us only because those cars have made their way up to staging and will be crossing the block just as things continue to move forward here at the auction. And speaking of the auction, Breon, we have a Kim's Corner, and much to the delight of
her fans,
and viewers. But Kim, we can't say enough. She really is a great addition to the team here. She provides such a ray of sunshine as you come in. I greeted her as I came in, and she was beaming already.
Yeah.
So, but we had a special assignment for her for this package, Breon.
I cannot wait to see what you guys put her.
All right. Well, I won't spill the beans. I'll just let Kim take it away.
Hey, I'm Kim. Good morning. We're going to take a look at what the Gold Lounge is. Come on. So, if you're a gold bidder, this is like a mega lounge. Some of our auctions. We have snacks, breakfast, just a little snack for the times. And we also have coffee, and we have wine, we have beer, but none for me. You come down and get yours. And I wanted to let you know, gold is not at every location, so be sure to check online and see if it's going to be at the location you're going to be attending, okay? All right, look, we got some of our gold customers right here, and I think I'm just going to sit down and enjoy it. Are you having a good time? Good. What do you like most about the Gold Lounge?
Yes, you, I guess.
The view?
No, you.
Oh, good. I like you too. You didn't know that was going to happen, did you?
No.
This is the Gold Lounge. This is just one part of it. And if you'd like reserved seating, call the home office and someone will be glad to take care of you. So come on down and upgrade to gold, okay?
It always looks like a good time in the Gold Bidders Lounge.
Yeah.
And of course, Kim had to have fun with it too.
She really did. But of course, check when you're coming out to Mecum Auctions to see if the gold experience is offered. They are at most of our auctions, and it really is a great way to elevate the experience here. A lot of great perks, and you might even bump into Kim.
You might, sitting there hanging out with everybody. We do have those nice couches here. Again, I would say do your homework in advance. Sometimes we don't offer the full lounge, or we might have a minimized experience. So make sure you do your homework. Go to mecum.com, and then, again, depending on the auction.
Yeah, be sure to check. We always try to introduce new things and always have something exciting for people when they come out. And while you're on that computer checking out the upcoming auctions, be sure to drop us a comment wherever you're watching this, whatever social platform, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Let us know. Let us know what you think of the show. Let us know if there's a car that you want profiled, or a truck, or a piece of road art. Let us know if there's a segment that you want us to cover.
Or an experience you want us to add here at Mecum, while you're out browsing around. Maybe Matt racing pedal cars, us doing parkour over cars. I mean, there's a variety of options out there, and we'd love to know what you want us to get into.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us here for Mecum Harrisburg. We're wrapping up today with Saturday, and the live TV coverage will be starting at noon Eastern with our very talented TV team providing all of the action up on the block. You can catch that at max.com. And for Mecum in the Morning, we'll see you guys in Monterey.